So, yes, it's a really easy 3-step process. Center, ground, and connect. And that is what's going to keep you energized. It's going to give you the stamina to do what it takes to run a successful business or to, show up as a mom for your kids and to really be present in your life. Because I think a big challenge when you are drained of energy, it's very hard to be present. It's like fun, you get to go away on that vacation, and it's like it's not even fun because you're just so stressed out and it's just you're exhausted. And it's about being able to be present in each moment. That is the goal there.
I'm curious about, so we spent some time doing this, but with practice it would end up being more of an automatic process like you were talking about integrating earlier?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I do it before. Sometimes I'll do it, if I feel my energy starting to wane, if I feel like I'm going off center, I'll go through that, I'll go through that process. It can be done at any time of day. It's great to do it before you get up in the morning, before you start your day, or before you go to sleep at night, because before you go to sleep, that's when everything's recalibrating, your cells, your energy is realigning. It's also something that you can basically just do it at any time, and it is something that sort of becomes just easier and easier to do. Of course, there are additional tools that if you're really in your stuff and you're hitting like you haven't taken action early on, where this is preventative and you're swimming in the pigsty right now because you haven't taken care of yourself, it's going to take time. You're maybe going to struggle with it at first. It's easier when someone else is leading you through it. So, one can listen to this process more than once. It does help to hear someone else guide you through the process so that you don't have to be thinking, that you can just receive and go into that place of receptivity.
I really appreciate that because it's, when we look at this and maybe we're not necessarily familiar with the feelings around being connected and grounded and centered. So do you have any tips on how to receive or how to recognize even like the clear guidance that we would need to know what to do next?
Yeah, well, I want to go with that. How sometimes it's like, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And it would be really great to get straight to that, I just want to focus on what I do want. But a lot of the time, the way as human beings we think is we just go from like a sort of a negative thought process. So I'm going to go with you can't tap into your intuition and stop the energy drain when, and so here are your indicators. 1, you are emotionally attached to an outcome. 2, you have an unconscious thought that clouds your perception of a person, situation, or goal. 3, you're fearful. 4, you can't tap into your intuition and stop that energy drain when you're resentful. That's a massive one that's going to just, suck it all out of you. 5, you try to tap into your intuition with your mind. So all this stuff is sort of mind control, and NLP works to a degree, but that on its own, it's only going to take you so far. You can maybe control things and control your life, but then you're going to hit a point where it's like, okay, you've got to face the reality of your situation and move through your denials and include a spiritual program. 6, you ignore the quiet voice inside your head that is your higher self giving you intuitive guidance. So that voice is very quiet until you listen more and more, and then it gets stronger and more confident. You can't tap into your intuition and stop the energy drain when 7, you don't believe the intuition you are receiving will work. And so that is essentially disbelief. Then you're stuck right there. And 8, you don't take full responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and actions. You're blaming others for your circumstances. That is just going to, it's going to bleed energy out of you very, very, very fast. If we allow ourselves to start to really feel the energy, the thing is that when you're in denial and that drain is happening, and it's like, everything's okay, it's all right. The thing is that you are just going to feel so scared in your life. You're going to experience a lot of fear and a lot of frustration and resentment towards other people and anxiety. And then when you make decisions from a place of fear, you're never going to be happy with the outcome. It's never going to be enough. when you start to open up and you start to feel that energy and really like look at what's happening, like what is going on, and you sort of do an analysis of the damage that's happened. And from there, from that place, it's like you can start to heal. Right then you will immediately, you'll go through at first shock. It's going to be a shock when you look at the sort of the full extent of your situation and the stuff you've been in denial. But then it's going to be like a weight is lifted.
I think that's really huge too. Like there is the light at the end of the tunnel. There is, and I think you mentioned that earlier on in the call about how once you recognize it, once you turn up the light and you can see what you're dealing with, at least you can do something then.
Yes. And, I would say go gently. I mean, there's some people, there's going to be some people that are sort of new to all this stuff.
Hi there, my name is Nina Wallinder, and I wanted to talk to you about Layers of Health. Layers of Health is a free online community dedicated to investigating holistic and alternative health options. These options can include physical health, mental and emotional health, business health, as well as your spiritual health. So you can join me as I discuss your health concerns with various experts, mentors, and leaders in their fields. And these interviews are offered for free live, as well as during special encore presentations. But if you find one that is particularly interesting to you, you can also purchase it. So you can join me at www.layersofhealth.com, and I'll see you on the calls.